Let's be honest, working on girls' rights and gender inequality is tough. If you've been doing this work for a while, chances are you've faced a whole heap of criticism, including the standard phrase of, "What about boys?" We know it can be really disheartening, but don't worry, we've created a list of 10 responses you can give to people who are critical of girls' work that keep you focused on your mission without burning any bridges. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Nikki from the Girl Lab. We're on a mission to redesign girlhood and create a world that works for girls. We want to support you in your work with girls and young women, and today I want to help you deal with the negative comments that will undoubtedly arise so you don't lose your passion and your focus and you understand why people are critical, what's really going on when people criticise girls' work. When I first started working with girls and young women, I was quite fresh-faced and optimistic, and then I started to receive some criticism which really took me off guard and made me question what I was doing and why. I hadn't received this sort of criticism when I worked more generally with children and teens, so it seemed like it was the specific focus on girls that was upsetting people. Now I guess I'm a bit more hardened to it, and I do believe it's changing. When I hosted my first ever event for International Day of the Girl in my home country of Wales, no one had even heard of Day of the Girl. We've moved on so much, but I know that receiving that one negative comment can outweigh the 100 positive ones we get, so we are here to help. So first up, why does it happen? Well, there's still a huge amount of resistance and challenge to the very notion that women and girls deserve equal rights, alongside understandable concerns that boys need our support too. When we're faced with the truth about blatant inequality, it can bring up some guilt in us all. If we're not part of the solution, are we part of the problem? That can make people defensive, and what do defensive people do? They lash out and deflect it. Also, I guess we're seeing a huge amount of change in our world right now. Concepts that seemed fixed are shifting rapidly, and there's a huge amount of fear in the air. Fearful people resist change. They cling to what they know and they get judgmental and critical. So try to have compassion. We want to acknowledge people's perspectives and fears, but not be sidelined by them. We're seeking inclusion, connection, and win-win. Also, if you receive the comment, "Well, what about boys?" or "Why aren't you working with boys too?" know that this is valid. We can't solve gender inequality by simply working with girls alone, and boys are also subjected to gender norms and stereotypes. We explore this in more detail in our Redesigning Girlhood training course, but I guess for now it's enough to say that yes, the focus on boys is important too, but if that's not your focus right now, that's okay. I know it can become quickly frustrating and demoralising for those who are continually encountering this sort of resistance, and there's a huge temptation to bite back against those who are critical. But I believe that we can't solve problems by using the same mentality and energy that created those problems in the first place. That just ends up generating more of the same. So getting angry at angry people rarely, if ever, works. Instead, we've created 10 responses that are balanced, that help you stick to your beliefs, but avoid waging wars with people, because that's just really old energy. So, for example, agree on the principle rather than the specifics. So your response to somebody who's critical of your focus with girls might be, "Yes, I agree that work with boys is also important. There are some great organisations that specialise in working with boys and young men, just as we specialise in working with girls and young women." Simple. Or spin it around. So, for example, to someone who thinks boys should be prioritised, you might say, "It's great that we're doing this work because by addressing gender stereotypes for girls, we're actually helping to address the stereotypes that affect boys too, like man up and boys don't cry. All stereotypes are damaging, and by starting with girls, we can shift the harmful effects for everyone." Our free fact sheet includes lots more ideas, so download that from our website and I'll post a link below. Above all, I want to say, please stay connected to your passion and purpose. I know it's really upsetting when we receive judgmental and comments and criticism, but this is about you finding your joy, your purpose, and making a difference in the world. So stay true to that. Thanks for doing your bit to create a world that works for girls, and I'll see you soon.